The oldest law of the stars over Veralia burned white against a deep violet sky. Beneath them, the city of Haran slept, if you could call it sleep. The alien streets were quiet, but the air still hummed with low-frequency resonance from the great shield domes. It was a constant reminder. This world feared something. Something ancient. Raxin Cathal knew the stories. Everyone did. Never wake the humans. It wasn't just a proverb. It was the first Concord law, etched into the star-faring memory of 1,000 civilizations. Every child on every world learned it before they learned numbers. The penalty for violation was unspoken. No one dared until now. Raxin was a Varelian archivist, tall, with pale translucent skin like glass over flowing silver veins. His work was in the archives beneath Haran's great spire, where the oldest records of the galaxy were sealed away. He had handled fragile star maps carved into crystalline slabs, treaties signed in the blood of extinct species, and even once, a sealed fragment from the War of Ashes, the only war in history that no one described in detail. That was the war where the humans vanished. Tonight, the archive felt wrong, a quiet wrongness, like the air was holding its breath. That's when he noticed the chamber door to Vault 0 was ajar. Vault 0 was forbidden to everyone except the Council. Raxin had only ever seen it from the outside, locked by 7 layers of quantum encryption. Now it stood open like an invitation. Inside was a single object, a smooth black stasis capsule. Human-sized. It hissed. The sound was small, but it cut through Raxin's bones like a scream. The capsule's frost layer began to melt, steam curling upward. Archivist Cathal. The voice was behind him, low, human, and impossible. Raxin turned, heart THUDDING. A figure stepped out of the shadows, broad-shouldered, heavy boots, old battered armor of a design unseen in thousands of years. The visor slid up, revealing pale skin, sharp eyes, and a scar that looked older than Raxin's entire family line. How long was I out? The human asked. Raxin's mouth worked. Before sound came, 14,000 cycles. The human's jaw tightened. And it's worse than I thought. Before Raxin could respond, the ground shook violently. The archive walls rattled. Warning sirens shrieked across Haran. The human glanced toward the sound, then back to Raxin. Tell me you still have ships. Ships? For what? They. Human gave a grim half-smile. To survive what's coming. The attack, the first bombardment strike, shattered Haran's eastern shield. A beam of white-gold energy ripped through the night, splitting the sky like a wound. Buildings crumpled into molten glass. Raxin stumbled, whipping the edge of the capsule for balance. What is attacking us? The human answered without hesitation. Drenari hegemony. Same as before. Before? Raxin's voice trembled. They've been extinct They're never extinct, the human cut in. They just wait. The next strike hit closer, the heat slamming into Raxin's body like a wall. The human, impossibly fast, grabbed him by the arm and pulled him toward the stairwell. We can't fight them. Raxin protested. Your fleets are toys. The Drenari don't come unless they think the prey's defenseless. As they climbed toward the surface, the human asked, Name? Raxin Cathal, Commander Elias Var, the human replied. You're with me now. They emerged into chaos. Varelians ran through the streets, their crystalline, skin scattering the firelight in shards of color. Alien med drones screamed overhead. A third orbital lance tore through the sky. Elias stopped, scanning the horizon. His eyes weren't just seeing, they were calculating. There's still a way to hold them. Raxin followed his gaze to the old defense platforms on the ridge. Those are ceremonial relics. They haven't fired in. They'll fire. When I'm done with them, Elias said. If we move now. But, Raxon, Elias's voice dropped, heavy with command. If they break your city, they'll scour your planet. I've seen them do it. Help me, or watch your people. Burn. For a moment, Raxon saw something in the human's eyes. Not anger, but a grief so deep it felt like the night sky itself. The archivist swallowed hard. I'll take you there. The Drenari Walker, was a towering insectoid machine. Legs stabbing into the ground with bone-breaking force. Its chitinous armor glistened under plasma light, every step shaking the street. Elias didn't. Get to cover. Get to cover. He barked. Raxon dove behind a collapsed wall as the walker's guns roared. The street erupted in molten shards. Elias rolled, drawing his weapon, a matte black rifle with strange blue coils. He fired once. The shot cracked like thunder. The walker staggered. Not destroyed, but wounded. Elias moved with lethal efficiency, ducking under a stream of plasma, vaulting over debris, closing the distance. He aimed for the leg joints. 3 precise shots, and the machine collapsed with a shattering shriek. Raxon's jaw hung open. How did? Don't ask questions you don't want answered, Elias said, hauling him to his feet. We move. They reached the ridge. The old defense platforms loomed ahead. Massive rail cannons pointed uselessly at the ground. They were sealed after the first Concord, Raxon said. No one has the authority. I'm not asking for permission, Elias replied, ripping open a control panel. Wires and conduits spilled out. His hands moved fast, splicing, bypassing, rerouting power. Raxon realized something terrifying. The human wasn't just a soldier. He understood alien tech instantly. The first cannon hummed to life. Lights rippled along its length. Somewhere, in orbit, a Drenari ship exploded. Asterisk the fire in the sky. 3 Drenari warships pierced the clouds, black hulls bristling with spines. Their shields shimmered like liquid obsidian. Elias didn't flinch. He triggered the second cannon, slamming. A kinetic slug into the lead ship. The impact tore through its shield and gutted its forward decks. They'll flank us, Raxon shouted. Then we hit harder, Elias said, already rerouting power to the third cannon. Get on the comms. Tell every engineer you've got to power the grid. Raxon hesitated. They won't listen to me. Then tell them the humans are awake, Elias growled. The words alone froze Raxon's blood. No one said it aloud. But when he repeated it over the comms, voices went silent. Then systems across the city surged online. The cannons roared. One ship fell. Another reeled away, but the third fired back. The ridge exploded. Raxon was thrown into the dirt, ears ringing. Elias pulled him up, smoke curling off his own armor. We can't stay, Elias said. We need a ship. Raxon's mind raced. There's one, in the museum wing, an old human cruiser from the archives. Elias's eyes lit with grim recognition. If it still flies, we can end this. Asterisk the ghost ship. The museum's great hall was a ruin. Glass domes shattered, exhibits torn apart. But in the center, half buried in dust, sat the ship, long, angular, built for war. Elias ran his hand along the hull. NXV-421. I thought they'd all been scrapped. What is it? Raxon asked. A ghost, Elias said simply. Help me open her up. Inside, the air was stale but breathable. Control panels hummed faintly, waiting for a hand they recognized. Elias sat in the command chair, keyed in a sequence, and the ship came alive, lights flaring, engines growling like a waking beast. They'll track us the second we lift, Raxon warned. That's the idea, Elias said. We want them looking at us. The ship lifted off. City shrank beneath them. The Draenei ships moved in, hungry predators. Strap in, Elias said. The cruiser moved like lightning, weaving between plasma blasts, returning fire with rail slugs that punched through armor like paper. Raxon watched in awe, not just at the firepower, but at the way Elias moved, as if the ship was part of him. At a proximity alarm blared. A massive Draenei dreadnought warped in, bigger than the city itself. The last shot, the dreadnought's singularity cannon glowed, warping the very light around it. One hit, and they'd be atoms. Elias didn't slow. He angled the cruiser toward the dreadnought's spine. That's suicide, Raxon shouted. Only. If we miss, Elias said, fingers flying over controls. I need you to hold the power conduit steady. Raxon's crystalline hands trembled as he gripped the conduit. Energy surged through it, threatening to shatter him from within. The cruiser's main railgun charged, far beyond safety limits. The hull groaned. Now! Elias roared. The shot tore through the void, striking the dreadnought's cannon just as it fired. The weapon imploded, collapsing the ship inward in a chain reaction that ripped the sky apart. Debris rained down. The cruiser spun out of control, alarms screaming. The awakening, the wasteland was silent, ash swirling in the wind. The cruisers. HULL smoked dot figures emerged from the dust. Not Draenei, but humans. Armored, armed, and very much awake. Raxon froze. I thought you were the last, Elias smiled faintly. We were never gone, just waiting. The lead human stepped forward. Commander, you broke protocol. Elias looked at the burning sky. The law was broken long before I woke. And now the galaxy will remember why it feared us. The humans turned their weapons toward the horizon, where new Draenei ships appeared. Raxon realized the truth. The oldest law wasn't a warning to humans. It was a warning to everyone else. Because once the humans woke, they didn't go. Back to sleep, ending. A camera pulls back into orbit, showing dozens, maybe hundreds, of human warships uncloaking from deep space, moving toward the Draenei fleet. The war is about to begin again. Asterisk.